All right, we are live. Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show for another wonderful Mystery Monday. You don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about what's trending. Really, Mondays are about us really getting back to crypto for anybody who maybe stepped out for the weekend. I didn't step out for the weekend, but I did enjoy a great birthday weekend, and that is why I didn't go live. I thought I'd be able to sneak a live in this weekend. Definitely will next weekend, but this weekend my wife had things for us to do, right? So we're looking at crypto bubbles right away, and if you paid attention over the weekend, Bitcoin did take a heck of a tumble to the downside, right? All right, mic check. All right, mic check, good. So we are ready to go, and we're on Bubble Maps on the daily here for Bubble Maps. The only things that are green are Meme Core, Mantle, and Aster. Aster maybe not to be surprised. Hopefully you guys saw how much Aster pumped over the weekend. It was really the only exciting thing in crypto. There was one other project that we'll talk about, I'm sure, that was also one of the more exciting things in crypto. But besides that, it's been pretty red, a little bit of a bloodbath. But on the hour, are we starting to recover? 0G, this thing went live today. I put a reel out about it. Their main net went live today. I'm sure we'll be covering that as well. See if there's anything interesting here as far as projects maybe we don't know. Now we know most of these projects here. What is CFX? Conflux. Okay, that makes sense. I probably should have known that one. And we will hop over to the Fear and Greed Index, which I am very surprised. The Fear and Greed Index is at 45. It's still yellow, but it does say fear. So we are just entering into the fear on the Fear and Greed Index, and we will always correlate that over to crypto rank. And we have been doing this for, I think, a couple weeks now. Yep, 45. So it's the same. I almost wonder if they're pulling it from this other Fear and Greed Index. Don't know. Just give everybody a minute to hop on. We are going to go to the trending coins on crypto rank, and we'll pull that up kind of side by side with the trending coins of CoinGecko. But first, let's talk about it. Bitcoin, $112,650, obviously taken a bit of a tumble if we haven't already covered that. 4,200 for Ethereum, and BNB at $992. Solana 220, Dogecoin 24 cents, Cardano 82 cents. So I guess that getting above $1 and running, it's gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Chainlink $21.66, Avalanche $33.77, Hyperliquid $47.26, Sui $3.37, and I think we'll stop there. You get the picture. Things are down. So let's go over to what's trending. Of course, Aster right at the top. Aster was a rebrand. Its other token before it rebranded was Apex, APEX. Hyperliquid, should know what Hyperliquid is, but it did see quite a bit of a tumble and a pullback as these other coins that had pumped during this weekend were kind of in the same category as Hyperliquid. Avantis, that is the other token. We'll go take a look at Avantis real quick, and it is decentralized finance, derivatives, and perpetuals. For whatever reason, people have decided that derivative and perpetual projects now are the only thing worth anything. That's what's pumping. That's what everybody cares about. It's not real interesting to me personally, but I guess to everybody else it is. That happens. Aster, again, is in that same vein. We will pull up its perpetuals, decentralized finance. So there you go. And if you really want to trade on a decentralized exchange, then there are all kinds of options coming out right now. Then we have Lena, which we will pull up for just a second. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. And Lena is a smart contract platform. It's got the Binance Alpha Spotlight, and it's a layer 2. And I believe it's on Ethereum. Yep, it's a layer 2 on Ethereum. Do we need another layer 2 on Ethereum? All over their website it says where Ethereum wins. And I always make the joke, I was unaware that Ethereum wasn't winning because it's the second biggest crypto and has been, and nothing has flipped it, and who knows if anything will. XRP people think it's going to flip Ethereum. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think it's impossible. But Lena has $446.6 million in its market cap, and the max chart says September 10th, 2025. So been around for a little while. Just going to do another mic check. Okay, mic check's good. I'm just wondering, I'm not seeing all my people tonight. They must be busy somewhere else. It is a Monday and the market is down. So I always say I would be doing all of this research myself, even if I wasn't on YouTube. So here I am, holding my word. So let's see what else we got. Okay, let's finish up with CoinGecko first before we go to Crypto Rank. So we have this 0G. Now, we talked about 0G. We talked about 0G just, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday, I believe we talked about 0G. Even during our GameFi Friday stream, we still covered this 0G, or zero gravity is actually what it stands for. It's got $1 billion in its market cap. Max chart says September 22nd, which is today because that's when the mainnet went live. But we were looking at this over on Crypto Rank before it had even launched. It is a Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum contract project, and it's all about AI infrastructure, market contract platform, layer 1. Now, Binance did do a really big airdrop with this zero gravity. I think it was 21 million coins to people who stake Binance or BNB on the Binance platform. They all got airdropped some of this stuff. So as an incubator, they did a good job getting these tokens out to people in their ecosystem. Let's take a look at their website. Now, I thought their website was very straightforward and very professional looking. 0G Foundation, we are leading the way to make AI a public good. So with this whole 0G, as you know, just abbreviated, it's a little misleading because I hear a ton of people saying OG, the OG Foundation is 0G. But I could easily see, and I almost did the same thing the first time too. I went to look it up and I couldn't find anything for OG token. And then once I realized it was a zero, it was a wrap. Then I found it. The foundation is the steward of decentralized AI as a public good. So this narrative of decentralized AI, but also a public good, is that to combat all of the narrative that AI is gonna, break out and take over the world one day kind of thing. Sourced and Sold says, happy Monday. Mike sounds good. Glad to hear that. Thank you for letting me know. The 0G Foundation is supported by a global network of contributors who bring deep technical expertise and real-world impact. And again, this thing already has $1 billion in its market cap, and it just launched its mainnet. So there are obviously some big people behind this project. So founders of unicorn companies and leaders who have raised hundreds of millions in revenue, 10 plus PhD, and they're just touting all of the wonderful people that they have. 5 Olympic gold medals. Okay, I don't know how that helps you with AI, but they have those medals. The 0G ecosystem is scaling faster than any AI blockchain to date, with rapid adoption across infrastructure, research, and partnerships. Obviously, they're getting the job done, and they're getting the connections, and they're getting the people pulled in, because where did they get $1 billion from? 300 plus ecosystem partners, Plume, Optimism, Alibaba. I mean, those are not small fries, especially Alibaba. Research breakthroughs like INFT standards. So some techie stuff. Ambitious roadmap targeting 100K throughput per second. Shard, 50 millisecond latency, and verifiable inference at scale, and support for consumer devices AI training. Okay, so that is ambitious. The 0G ecosystem is the foundation for decentralized AI. I feel like they said that once or twice already. What began as a bold vision is now thriving network of projects building the next generation of AI native application. Its 4 core layers provide everything builders need to launch high performance, trustless applications on chain. At its core are 4 interoperable layers. You have the chain, the data availability, the storage, and also the storage. They have storage twice, but one's decentralized and high throughput, and the other one is GPU powered resource and interface. I mean, storage is a big deal, along with compute and data availability, all very necessary things for AI in general. All right, looks like somebody finally hopped on in. Bufflink says, I hit the like button. Have you? What are your favorite DCAs on the dip today? And what is your favorite hidden Web3 crypto? Well, I don't know what you would consider hidden necessarily. And I haven't really DCA'd in anything in this dip just because I've allocated most of my funds and we're supposed to be running into the top of the market. So I wasn't expecting anything crazy for a dip. Hidden, I wonder what you consider to be hidden. I mean, I guess right now my hidden play is XRT. And that is what it is. It's under a $2 million market cap, highly speculative, super high risk. Didn't put a lot of money into it, for the record, and that is what I'm really counting. And it's been moving up a little bit, so not a ton. You know, my 200 has turned into like 225, but you know, at least it's headed in the right direction, and it's held through this pullback, which I think is cool. Sometimes when those coins are that small, there's really like nobody to dump. You know, like there's not anybody to really dump the price, so that's cool. All right, I think I got all the chats. Oh, Blues guys in the house. Caught it right as it popped up. It says, great day to all of you guys. Gratitude and happiness. Man trying staying grateful into that crazy dip. Yeah, exactly. It's the only way you can make sense of it. Wow. Was that nuts? Liquidation. Great to see you, Underground. Great to see you, Blues guy. Did you get liquidated in that crazy mess? I had a small position get liquidated. It was like $100, but it still was more than I wanted to lose. So is it your stream title? What do you mean by hidden? Hidden, I guess, well, is that in the title? Oh, yeah, it says hidden. Oh, it says hidden Web3 narrative and crypto projects. Okay, yeah, that the title, sometimes I have AI help me with that one, so maybe I didn't fully read what it said. But I mean, there's all kinds of hidden projects and narratives. The deep dive is more, what are we gonna find while we're deep diving and researching? Like, for example, Bufflink, we found this project before it launched. We were talking about this on Friday, and it launched today. Now, because of the market, I bet it's probably down from then. Well, I guess it couldn't be down because it launched today. Yeah. So, excuse my misspeak. It just went live today, so we didn't really have a price for it and everything before. And we're not going to just spend a crazy amount of time on 0G, but it is kind of the premier project of the day. Reliable J in the house. Always glad to see you when you can grace us with your presence, man. Thank you for stopping by. And I guess the hidden project thing really goes along with the Mystery Monday. You know, it's Mystery Monday. We're coming back. It's Monday. For a lot of people, they did stuff over the weekend. Maybe they didn't pay a lot of attention to crypto. And we're just going to go into everything that we can find. Now, like, for example, TokenBot. I don't know what TokenBot is. That could be a mystery project, right? So guess what? I hit the like button. I got nailed. Yeah, I stopped out big time. So big that it shook me up. Yeah, I did too. I thought my stop loss was deep enough. Really, the whole position wasn't that big, so I just let the liquidation be the stop loss. But it was calculated. I knew what I was doing. I didn't think we were going to go down that far, and holy moly, did we really actually go down that far? So that kind of sucked, but it's okay. Still only lost like $100. So I seen 0G on weeks today. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you were here on Friday, Bufflink, but we did go over it then, although it hadn't launched yet. So let's look at TokenBot. So Clanker, I do like the ticker token bot, clanking around. I like the ideal and the visual that it gives you there. Max chart says November 12th, 2004. So this is not a new project. What is the category? It's a launch pad. So we never did get down to these tiny launch pads. What's the market cap? 36.3 million. Yeah, we didn't really get down to those smaller launch pads when we did our launch pad deep dive the other day. AI applications, Clanker ecosystem. So they already have an ecosystem tab all to themselves, and it was a Binance Alpha Spotlight. So I noticed that a lot of what is Binance Alpha Spotlight is pumping and doing well. Now, I don't know how many different projects they incubate over there that don't wind up doing well, but I know that a lot of them are. And first thing that I see about this project that I like a lot is 1 million max supply. So in the past, when I've seen something have small supply like this, it doesn't take a lot of money to really raise the price. And that can be a nice thing when it comes to return on your investment. And it's got a base blockchain, which is a layer 2 on Ethereum. If you were here for our layer 2 deep dive. But let's go to their website. Let's see what we got going on. So deploy a token in seconds. Clanker, right, it's a launch pad, right? So it's probably going to be super degen heavy. Claim rewards as you grow. I'm always terrified of what I'm going to see on here. It's going to get me banned. It's going to be like OnlyFans coin or something like that and get me thrown off of YouTube. Got to be careful. But yeah, I mean, you just see a lot of tokens and you see market caps that are just absolutely tiny. $55,000, $71,000. What are people trying to accomplish? I mean, obviously there's people who want to do something. Pool fans, whatever that means. Yeah. And I personally think that it's great. I got to really set it straight how I feel about it, right? So I think it's great that they have these launchpad and anybody can launch a token. And I think it's great for people who have some reason to launch a token. They have a community, they have a project idea, something cool. But when people just make up nonsense and they're really just hoping that the name of the coin that they launched, is going to carry them through, I think that's really just sucking a lot of liquidity away from good projects and really leading the degens down one heck of a rabbit hole. And most of the time they're going to lose all their money. And it's not even a rug pull necessarily. It's just a person doesn't have any vision for a real crypto project. They're just launching a coin because they want to, and you bought it because it was called, some kind of name that you stuck with, whether it's a political narrative or a gaming narrative or just whatever. They named it after something trending and interesting, and you bought it. And now you get to hold it, good or bad. And there's not a whole lot to unpack here, There's just a bunch of random coins. Banker coin, I've heard of that one quite a bit. So what is this? All clankers. So these are all different clankers. You got based fart coin and just all kinds of ridiculous things. So enough of that. At least we know what it is. It's a launch pad. I mean, this is all crypto IQ stuff, right? We're here to raise our crypto IQ. So if you see token bot trending in the next 2, 3, 4 days, at least you'll know what it is. And maybe you will have already made up your mind about how you feel about it. You don't have to feel about it how I feel about it. It's not necessary. Have your own thoughts and opinions. And if mine help you make your own thoughts and opinions, you take them into consideration, that's awesome. If not, no big deal. STBL is one we talked about quite a bit on the live. We also talked about it quite a bit in our Discord, which, by the way, Discord link in the description. I feel like most of the people here are regulars. They're probably already in the Discord. But if anybody's listening to this later, in the description is the Discord link. Pop in, say hi. We're always chatting about something in there. It is new. We are growing, so the chat is continually getting more involved. Then you have Troll. Troll has been out for a while. April 21st, 2025. Thought it was out longer than that, but I guess not. I guess it launched this year. It's only up 2,375%. Nothing crazy. 127 million in its market cap. It is a meme, which I think you would have gotten. It's a parody meme even. They have a separate tag for that. Pump.fun ecosystem, Binance Alpha Spotlight, and 4chan themed. If you know, you know. Shouldn't have to necessarily be explained there. and it's about being a troll. Do we want to encourage people to be a troll online? I have no idea. Not my thing. I don't run around all day trying to troll people online. It sounds exhausting, and I'm imagining that most trolls on the internet aren't doing much with their regular everyday life. That's my opinion there. Because how could you have time to run, any kind of business or whatever you're doing? How could you have time for it when you're wasting all that time on social media? Anyways, and then we hop over to Crypto Rank. And Crypto Rank, we got the 20 coins searched in the last 7 days. We already talked about Lena, we talked about Aster, we talked about Avantis. We actually talked about this Maverick network. I believe we talked about it on Friday. And it definitely caught my eye. I definitely thought it was an interesting project. I do like how Crypto Rank gives you a little more information about Team and ICO. They raised $500,000, which is not a crazy amount of money for a seed round. And that was the 12th of May to the 12th of June. So that went on for a while. And I really don't feel like they raised that much money. But of course they raised $10 million the 16th of September. So never mind. That's a decent amount of change here. So then what is their market cap? 6.7 or 6.47 million dollars in market cap. So very interesting that all that money they raised isn't in their market cap, but they're probably doing some marketing and stuff like that. Let's go check out Maverick. And it is a layer 1 blockchain powering a signed 10 billion tokenization deal. Okay, so we did talk about this quite a bit. We even went to the coin perspective and looked at what it would be if, $2 billion of that deal went into their market cap. So I think the insinuation here is that this money that they're getting is going to go into the market cap and the coin's going to go up. So you should speculate on it and buy in. Who knows if that's true? And they have a link to a news article. This is kind of odd, in my opinion, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a little bit of weird way to go about it. Usually you don't come to a crypto coin that's new and go to their page and then they just have like a news article and the whole hype around it is like this deal they're supposed to be getting. And it says signed deal. So is it signed and done deal? And it's all about real estate, insurance linked securities, bonds, Bitcoin miners, equity, commodities, and more. Debt, of course. It's a whole marketplace, really. It's a secondary market, creating efficient secondary trading for tokenized RWAs with seamless asset access to global markets. Our network of traditional equities and Web3 partners enables enhanced liquidity and transparency for seamless asset trading. And let's see what Blues Guy says. Bro, today I heard Axelar is partnering with BNB and XRP. All right, thank you for putting that on the radar. We will put that. And how could I skip over Lindsay Lynn's comment here? Good evening, Underground Crypto. Good evening to you, Lindsay. I appreciate you being here. Hadn't seen you in a little bit, so I'm glad that you stopped on by. DeFi, a robust. Can't talk. A robust decentralized finance ecosystem operating with intermediaries. Users can explore instant lending, liquidity mining, yield farming, and other DeFi opportunities, transforming how they interact with capital markets. For some reason, when I start stumbling over the words, if I just try to say them as fast as possible, it just works out better. This is an interesting project, right? If they're going to get that money, 10 billion in their deal, how much of it's going to go into their market cap? That's what I'd like to know. Definitely needed that drink. So Satoshi11 says, how are you doing, Underground? I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm doing what I love. And we're live streaming. I think we're getting close to a month of the live stream show. Before, I was just making pre-recorded videos, which you can check out. There's plenty of those they're more like single project deep dives, right? Like we do on these, but more time put in just one project. So yeah, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. So multi-bank IO, multi-bank RE, and just to Satoshi, I'm doing great because a lot of the things that we were talking about in the last couple weeks have been the big hitters We went over Avantis before I felt like most people were talking about it. Definitely before it popped. The AEVO was another one. I mean, a lot of it was involved with other people in the community, bringing it to the stream and talking about it. So like, I was really, really happy with how well the stream's doing, and the fact that the community even brought some things in that we basically, you know, I don't put out calls to buy things, you know, so I can't say like we nailed it, like I told everybody to buy it, but we put it on your radar, and that's basically my job. Satoshi says, I love the pre-records, but the lives are fire. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Yeah, I like the lives too. I still want to do pre-records, but I just feel like we get so much more done on the live, and you can watch the live later. So I'm going back and forth with how much time I'm going to put into the pre-recorded videos, because they take a ton of time, and I don't know if they really bring more value. So Multibanker.io is what we were talking about. So Multibank.io, a lending cryptocurrency exchange under Multibank Group, offers a user-friendly platform for instant secure trading, crypto derivatives, and soon RWAs. So do you see what I see here? We talk category, niche, narrative. What is the narrative that matters right now? It is derivatives and perpetuals. So the fact that they say they're going to have crypto derivatives does make me kind of bullish on the project personally, but I don't really see a launch button. Like, I don't see where I can go actually use this thing right now, and that might hurt it from pumping. Secure, efficient, designed at scale. It also might not hurt it from pumping at all, because a lot of it is speculation. So unlock the potential of rapid transactions, dynamic annual percentage yields. So this has a lot to do with yields. There's another project that was trending today, Tree, that has a lot to do with yields as well. So 25% of the treasury, 25% to validators, 50% of its burn. So right there is your tokenomics. Blockchain technology that achieves genuine scalability. I've heard that a lot. Low carbon. So a lot of good narratives though. And the website looks pretty well put together, so I can't really hate on them too much for that. Discover Nexus, the Maverick Nexus, your portal to our vibrant RWA ecosystem. So this thing looks like it's been building for a while now, and they're just, you know, really getting to putting it out to everybody is the vibe that I get. The Maverick Nexus is your ultimate portal to the Maverick blockchain ecosystem, providing a comprehensive and intuitive platform putting the full potential of decentralized technology at your fingertip. Explore blocks, participate in network governance, manage treasury functions, and navigate domain services through a single intuitive platform. Maverick Nexus offered a seamless, all-in-one experience for blockchain enthusiasts and professionals. So they want the small retail in there, but they are also very much about the big, institutions. So you have a protocol, treasury, a liquidity mining, which is our on-chain liquidity mining program empowers users to support decentralized applications while earning rewards. So, of course, just like anything, it's all about the liquidity, and if you provide liquidity, they will give you some kickback. EWA says LFG. If you know, you know. Definitely, let's go. And let's just pop for 1 second over to this article that they're kind of referencing here. So first of all, the article is on hackernoon.com. So I don't really know about the legitimacy of hackernoon.com. Doesn't seem like the most, news orientated website. So can real estate finally be tokenized at scale? Maverick Fireblock says yes. So Fireblock is this other company. Now Fireblock in this article says they're worth like $100 billion, and this $10 billion deal is going to Maverick, and they're basically going to build this marketplace. And so Fireblock would be your company that already exists, that already operates in the more traditional finance infrastructure, and this is going to be their play at bringing in decentralization and all of those different things. Now, they probably own Maverick. It's probably them giving $10 billion to themselves. I don't know that. That's speculation, but I don't think that would be that far-fetched. Because why would a giant company like this with $100 billion, why wouldn't they just do their own thing, hire their own people, and then, go ahead and launch the project themselves and then give themselves a deal? And then give themselves a deal with a nice number to it and then market the project based off of the deal they knew they were going to give themselves. Makes a lot of sense to me. You create the problem or you create the narrative and then you sell it. All right, so that was Token Bot. We went over that. We had already moved over to Crypto Rank. And where we find a lot of projects we never looked at is in the top gainers. So we will be going there next. Lombard, and I saw, what was it, Mexi Global had a whole campaign going on for Lombard. So I wouldn't say that Lombard is too small to matter. What is the market cap? Oh, 212 million. So not super small, but not super huge either. We have the co-founder here, this Jacob Phillips. Do like that Crypto Rank really does give you their team and stuff like that. Now, sometimes their team are a bunch of NFT cartoons, so that doesn't really tell you much. But and they have different fundings going on. They got 6.75 million in this last IDO, and then this, funding round over here, undisclosed, but it's $1 million raised. So I don't know how it's undisclosed. And the investor was YZI Labs, if you know, previously Binance Labs. So it's probably going to have Binance power behind it. Why would Binance want to put anything out and it doesn't do at least decent? It doesn't necessarily have to do super well, but you would think it would at least do decent. So Lombard, what is it? And I'm surprised it's not over here on this. Let's pull it up, though, on CoinGecko. Oh. There we go. And it's ticker BARD. So it only has 210, whatever, 212 is what the other one said, million market cap. There's always some disparity between those. Ethereum contract, Binance Smart Chain contract. And we'll come down, decentralized finance. So BTCFI. So this is, DeFi for Bitcoin. And there's the Binance Alpha Spotlight. Not surprising to see that. Now let's go check out their website. It's time for Bitcoin to grow, build, innovate. All the things are going to flash. Lombard brings Bitcoin to life on chain for people, protocols, and platforms. Empowering the on-chain economy. And a big thing about it is how much money do people hold in Bitcoin. All that money just kind of sits. It's digital gold, but they're not using it. They're not moving it around the ecosystem. And projects like Lombard want to free it up. All that liquidity. They want to free all that liquidity up and get it flowing around and making money, because money makes money. Bitcoin is the most important asset of our generation. So Bitcoin reimagined global finance built on mathematical guarantees, not trust in people, inspired a trillion-plus ecosystem of blockchains and applications, yet barely participates in the on-chain revolution it sparked. That's pretty true. It's a good point. Bitcoin really sparked all of these different smart contracts and blockchain technology, and the Bitcoin itself doesn't really interact with it. 2 trillion BTC sits in cold wallets. Now, I don't know that they're all in cold wallets, but probably most of it. The ecosystem sees limited innovation. Lombard is here to change this. So the Lombard stacks bring Bitcoin to life. You have LBTC. You have Lombard Vaults, Lombard DeFi Marketplace, Lombard SDK, Bitcoin staking, Lombard Ledger. So the leading Bitcoin bridge secured by 14 trusted digital asset institutions. And we have talked a ton about bridges, atomic swaps. What's the difference? Which one's more safe? What's your crypto IQ? Have you been following along? Can anybody tell me which one is more safe, an atomic swap or a bridge? Let's go ahead and launch the app. Let's take a look at the app, because the website to me matters, how well it's put together and stuff, but also, oh, that's right, the app's not available in my region. Would throw a VPN on, but it always seems to mess everything else up. I don't really want to chance that while we're going live here. I remember now that it did that to me the last time. Let's go to their X though. All right, it doesn't want to let me do that either. Let's do it on CoinGecko. they're like, watch out, this link might be malicious over on Crypto Rank. It's like, well, isn't it your job to make sure the links that you have are not malicious? I feel like it should be your job. Crypto Rank. So Lombard brings DeFi to Bitcoin. We don't need to read that again. They have this promotional video. I think we watched it last time. With these promotional videos, they pretty much say absolutely nothing. There's no real value there. Tap in for 7 consecutive days and earn an extra 200 Lux points. I don't know what Lux points are. For those with smaller bags or even bigger ones, you can earn 200 Lux a week from a simple check-in on Lombard's website. So whatever this Lux is, you can earn some from just checking in on their website. I did not see that on their website. Maybe it's in the app, most likely in the app. And it's live now. That was only 18 hours ago. It's on Mexi Global. They have a whole campaign going. Very interesting. I got one spin on the wheel and it just said thanks for participating. So wasn't real exciting to me. All right. So let's hop back and see what else is going on. So we covered Lombard. I really want you to be able to look at all that's trending and all that's popular in a couple of day span and feel confident about knowing what the projects are. All right, so here's another one, this Egen Cloud. I've seen it pop up a couple of times. And what can we say about it? 620 million in market cap. That's pretty good. Let's see what the team. Okay, we got some people on the team here. OTC, over-the-counter purchase of $70 million by Andreans and Horowitz, if you don't know. And they have AI16Z as well. They definitely have some money to throw around, that is for sure. And let's go to their website. And they think it's way too risky for me to go to, but I will visit it anyway because it's such a big project with that much money behind it. I doubt their website is a scam. That wouldn't really make any sense. So build verifiable apps, run AVS infrastructure, stake hundreds of assets, and scale with EIGEN DA. And it looks very professional, like overly professional almost. But what can we really learn about it? Let's pull it up over on CoinGecko, which I can operate much better. So it's previously was EGN Layer, and now it's EGN Cloud. So they've kind of rebranded there. That's good to take note of, although don't think that's a horrible thing. Now, did the rebrand change the max chart? No, it doesn't look like it. So September 30th, 2024. So it's like almost a year old. And what do we got for tax? So it's infrastructure. It's made in the US. It's got restaking, data availability, which is what we looked at on another project, if anybody remembers, Polychain Capital Portfolio. And I don't see anybody throwing in there what's more reliable or safe, an atomic swap or a bridge. It would be an atomic swap, but you can't always use an atomic swap. So sometimes you have to use a bridge. In order to use an atomic swap, two blockchains have to be able to communicate with each other. So here's restaked assets: Fire BTC, Universal BTC, Lombard Stake Bitcoin. Very interesting. So a lot of Lombard and DeFi, BTC. And like I've been saying, following the narrative, how the title goes, a hidden Web3 narrative. I don't know if it's hidden, but what I see heating up is both AI agents, definitely heating up in the background there, but also Bitcoin DeFi. Now, it's no secret that perpetual and derivatives, decentralized projects have been popping off. That's not really hidden, but that's also a narrative that is running right now. And restaking, what's the point of restaking versus regular staking? That is something I have not totally put together yet. I mean, to restake, in my opinion, would be like you stake something, they give you something, right? As to show, as a coin that's like a part of you, like a wrap something, and then you go and stake that again. To me, that's what restaking would be, but I'll do a little bit more deep diving on that. We're always learning together and deep diving together. Let's back up and see what else we have here. Of course, there was a pop-up. So Open Ledger was one that we had talked about before. Let's go ahead and pop into that, just make sure people know what it is. So Open Ledger, and do they give us tags here? Yeah, okay, so token. Okay, I don't think token should be a tag. We know it's a token. It's AI intelligence. And it's also Ethereum 0G ecosystem. Is that true? Is it 0G ecosystem? I don't like the way that they have their categories put together. That's honestly not very helpful. $165 million in its market cap. Website says the AI blockchain, the next generation blockchain for network for AI. We are hearing that left, right, everywhere you go. They are the best in AI, every website that you go to. So Open Ledger is the AI blockchain, unlocking liquidity to monetize data, models, and agents. Open Ledger chain is the foundation of trusted AI. So purpose built for AI, of course, AI liquidity layer. So they're having a lot to do with liquidity providing. EVM compatible infrastructure. That's almost something you count on nowadays. Proof of our attribution. So ensures all contributions are traceable, verifiable, and fairly rewarded. Absolutely want to be fairly rewarded if I'm providing some liquidity. Built for on-chain markets. Then we have 3,600 wallets, though. That's very interesting. 2,000 smart contracts. So this thing is brand new and getting kicking. Make sure we got all the chats going. And then here's their ecosystem. So you see not a whole lot of familiars, but we're backed and supported by Polychain Capital, Hashkey, Mask. It doesn't look like MetaMask, though. A ventures company, Borderless. We've looked at Borderless before. Our community is a boundless powerhouse. I want to say Borderless. So they have their Discord, X, and Telegram. You see all the real people behind the project. And yeah, join them in the future of shaping AI. I think what I thought was most interesting is I think they said they were in the 0G ecosystem. Let me click on that. So will it take me to other 0G ecosystem? Yeah. Okay. So they're in the 0G ecosystem, and 0G just launched their mainnet today. Can we see some movement out of this project here, Open Ledger? But I've seen Open Ledger floating around for a couple of weeks now. So I don't know. Maybe with the main project that everything is built on really taking off, it can get some traction. Now, I do like the way they have these projects set up with 0G. It's a little bit smoother than even CoinGecko, even though I love CoinGecko. And you see a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of these things in other things, like, for example, Dune. I've seen that in Somnia's ecosystem. So you see a lot of these projects being interoperable, working with new projects, working with older projects, and really just providing everywhere that they can. Codata is another one that I've seen quite a bit before. So Blues Guy says, underground, I also have long hair. Took me years. I can only imagine I think you mean your hair is super long. I'm not sure if I might be the one reading that wrong. Did you have hair extensions of your nervous system? Does that make us all smart? LOL. No, it's all my real hair. No hair extensions. I've had these dreads for like 10 years, so they took a while for sure to get long. And then when you spend that much time growing them out, like, you can't just cut them and get them back, you know? So it makes you really apprehensive to cut them off. Definitely don't feel like starting over. I feel like if I cut them, I probably would just be done with dreads because I've spent way too much time on these. All right. So that's Open Ledger, and thank you for being a part of the community, Blues Guy. I really appreciate you. What else do we have here? So on the other side is the 20 most visited coins in the last 7 days. We have OG Labs. And I mean, if that has all of those, think about it. If OG Lab has all of those different projects under it and it's just launching its mainnet, this might be one of those projects that is multi-billion dollar market cap worthy. You know, not every project is worthy of having a 10, 20, 30 million or billion, I should say, market cap, but OG Labs might be, and I'm not saying they are because I have no idea. Somnia Network, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. If you know, you know. So there's Boundless. Matter of fact, I want to go back. We'll do them in order. I want to look at Lighter. Now there was Light that was out for a while. There was like a launch pad for AI agents, and it was trending for a minute, and I don't see it anymore. Funds and backers are Andreessen Horowitz. I hate having to say that. So what is Lighter? Lighter is a perpetual trading protocol based on Ethereum. Okay, guys, here we go. What's the market cap? Is this thing even launched yet? The one question you got to ask yourself. Oh, he says no. Meant to say hair are extensions of your nervous system. Yeah, I've definitely heard that for sure. I've heard that, you know, you go out in the sun and your hair is responsible for soaking up all the, you know, sun energy and bringing it to your brain. I mean, when you say it, it makes some kind of sense, but is it true? I have no idea. But if it is, then I'm doing great, right? So Lighter is a perpetual trading protocol based on Ethereum. It is specialized ZK rollups that utilize cryptograph methods and data structure to ensure scalability, security, transparency. The protocol features a verifiable matching engine that enables efficient and audible trade execution. This solution provides the infrastructure for building digital trading platforms with enhanced capabilities. Well, that has been the narrative. That has been the, you know, biggest thing right now are these perpetual and derivative trading protocols. So this thing doesn't look like it's launched yet, but it's a DEX, it's a protocol, it's on Ethereum, it's got a big backer. I don't know. Is this one that you really want to look out for? And I want to pull it up on CoinGecko, of course. See if they have any information for it. I wish Watchman was here. He'd be interested in this one. Says it was on Ethereum. Lighter, all I'm getting is stuff for Solana. I do like how CryptoRank seems to show a lot more things that are not quite out yet. And CoinGecko, I don't normally see that. I don't normally see projects that aren't even out yet. Unless it's probably a category or place that I'm just not clicking on. But this is a lot easier to find, I should say. And they'll even show you these websites that are trending and it's not really out yet. So that makes you wonder, is this kind of a coin that a lot of people don't know of? Let me get my notepad. Gonna need to write Lighter down. And I see 0G is the last thing I wrote down. So Lighter. I wish we could get a little bit more information. We have some news. They have a news tab. Anything there? Whale suddenly withdraws 122 million in Hypercoin. So this is just general news. This is not news pertaining to this project, but you see a big whale pulling out. I think that's because there's a lot of other opportunities in the same, you know, competition, the same ecosystem as Hyperliquid, derivatives, perpetuals, that kind of thing. And I think it's time for some of these other ones to run, like Aster and Avantis. Is Lighter going to be another one that we see run? Are we going to wish that we had bought more Lighter? As of right now, I don't see any. And it's not even coming up on CoinGecko. I feel like CoinGecko likes to list them more like when they actually launch, you know? So maybe CryptoRank will have us having a little bit of an edge. I already clicked on their website, but I'll do it again. So trade perpetuals with unmatched efficiency and fairness. That's pretty much what we would expect. Let's launch the app. Hopefully it doesn't tell me I can't use it in my like country or something crazy. Because how it actually looks, how smooth it is definitely important. And of course, you are accessing Lighter from a restricted jurisdiction, so functionality is blocked. Sounds like you need a VPN. Nothing is truly blocked if you know what to do. I don't know. Am I allowed to tell you guys to use a VPN on things? I have no idea. It doesn't seem like it's financial advice. And let's see what kind of pairs they have. Come on. So it looks like they have lots of pairs. Pax G even. I don't know. When is this thing coming out? I want to buy some. And then another big question, if I haven't said this already, I know I was starting to, but how long is this derivative perpetual narrative going to go? I mean, we've seen like AEVO, we saw Avantis, we saw Aster. We saw a lot of things pump off of this narrative. Are they just going to roll them into them continuously forever? At some point, the narrative is going to die, and a different narrative is going to take over. So is there enough juice, gas in the tank to take Lighter to some kind of crazy all-time highs? Is Lighter actually going to have its own token? Is it going to pump? I don't know. Maybe we could get some more information. We'll have to spend a little bit more time on this because of the fact that this could be, you know, one of the ones that you're going to wish you didn't miss. So documentation, facts. Let's go to FAQ. Maybe that'll help us. So what is Lighter protocol? How scalable is Lighter? What security and fairness guarantee? What does application-specific ZK rollup mean? Are there any transaction fees? We'll open that one. The Lighter protocol does not impose any transaction fees on its users. This means users can manage their orders without incurring any transaction fees. See, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the big narrative for these derivative and perpetuals that I was missing, that I wasn't seeing. This is why this deep dive into researching is so important. I hope somebody's catching this and paying attention right now, because maybe that's what the big deal is. Because I've been trying to figure out what the heck the big deal is with these. Obviously, it's cool to do all decentralized, but if there's no fees or insanely low fees, that'll bring everybody over. You know, all your big players, if they can mess around with what they already do for no fees, they're coming over. What are the next steps for Lighter? I guess that's what I'm looking for. AI is heart. Lighter is an innovative order book. Matching engine designed to support broad spectrum. Yeah, I don't want to know all that. I want to know when does the coin come out? When is this thing going to go live? Let's go to their Twitter. Because if I can get information on when it's going to go live, I think that's probably the most useful information right now. 57.8 thousand followers, pin posts. 233,000, so very good. Lighter private beta ending soon. So they have a private beta, and I would assume that you have a private beta when you're pretty much done with testnet and you're getting ready to launch, you know, fully launch. So in anticipation of the public launch, we are excited to share our founder, CEO, on the latest episode of Flirting with Models with discussions of our product decision, technical design, and future roadmap and vision. Okay, the order book for all of Ethereum. Calling it an S7E22. Yeah, I'm not really getting exactly what I want, and it's obvious that the information is not being, you know, circulated and given right now, which sucks. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to keep an eye on this one. I got it written down. We did spend quite a bit of time on it, and we will spend kind of more time than usual on the things that matter. And in my opinion, unless the derivatives perpetual category niche narrative is over, which it could be, but I think there's probably a couple more coins to run, and I think Lighter is highly likely to be one of them. That's just my opinion. We've been over Bio Protocol, and it pumped a little bit, and then we didn't really hear much about it. It is decentralized science. I don't really think it's worth going over right now because that narrative is not really trendy. HANA Network. Here's another one I've never heard of. So we were talking about hidden Web3 narrative and projects. This could be considered a hidden project because I certainly didn't know about it. That's how hidden it was. IDO raised $1 million September 16th to the 23rd. They raised $4 million on the 24th of October. And our investors, Orange DAO, P-Stake, D-Whales, Sushi Swap. There's one you don't see. I think I own like 2 Sushi Swap from last cycle. Morph. Yeah, HANA Network is a blockchain platform that integrates with Aegean Layer. Okay. Seeing a lot of connection. Like we saw Aegean Layer, then we saw the Aegean Layer was connected with something else. What was it? Was it Open Layer? I believe so. Might be getting that wrong. And Babylon to enhance security and functionality. It allows users to stake assets on Aegean Layer and Babylon, benefiting from their advanced security protocols. HANA Network employs cryptographic techniques to ensure secure transaction and maintain user privacy. It also supports multi-party group broadcast and anonymous routing protocols. By leveraging these integrations, HANA Network aims to offer robust and secure decentralized solutions for various applications, making blockchain technology more accessible and efficient. I do like the narrative. I do like the call to action there because there is so much technical things, oracles, data, all the techie things that we talk about that are really just necessary for these big ecosystems to move around. And that IDO, by the way, was Capital Launchpad, was the platform, and who was the provider? Must be Capital Launchpad. All right, well, that's very interesting. Let's go to their website. Let me close some of these things about Lighter. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lighter launch in the next day or two. And is it going to do the very typical launch and all the early investors selling tons of coins? I don't know. Bloom like magic. Okay. HANA Gateway. Trustless on and off ramps. More on and off ramps is definitely needed in all of the crypto ecosystems. Most people really only know to use like Coinbase or something of that nature. A Quest reunion, a Quest campaign to empower DeFi protocols, and HANA Fuda card Lego project bringing hyper casual finance. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means. And then 2 other things that are coming soon that they don't even want to tell us about. They won't even hint at it. Hyper casual finance with social network effect. I like this hyper casual finance. Another big thing is when you see terms, when we're deep diving and researching, and you see terms on a website. Like, for example, we read about finance stuff all the time. Have you ever heard me say the hyper casual finance? That almost should set off a little bit of an alarm and say, okay, what's hyper casual finance? What does that mean? And is it going to be a trend or a category or a niche that is going to start being popular? With social network effects, no more centralized exchange. Hyper casual finance brings peer-to-peer marketplace complete with casual earnings, live social tipping, and on and off ramps. Unlike the passive experience of centralized exchange, HANA Network leverages user-driven distribution on social networks on board the next billion users. I like this idea. I like this narrative. So let's break that down again. So we have casual earning, live social tipping, which for anybody who's content creator or Twitch streamer, whatever, is a big deal. And on and off ramps. So after I get tipped, I need good on and off ramps, right? Unlike the passive experience of centralized exchanges, HANA Network leverages user-driven distribution on social networks to onboard the next billion users. So we've seen SocialFi, and we've seen a lot of people, or projects, I should say, but there's people behind those projects, like Zara. Zara is a project that is more recent and new, bringing out a new system than paid ad system. They have a different system, but is it going to do well? I have no idea. I didn't love the experience, but it's brand new, or it's very new. It's not brand new. But if this is more talking about actually working across the social platforms we already have, then it could be a huge winner. So Web 4, paradigm shift, interactive, retail-focused, real-time. The heart of HANA Network lies... Why do they have to put that thing right there? That is so annoying. Lies 3 revolutionary characters of Web 4. And you've heard Web 3 a ton. Now we're here in Web 4. So we have 2 new terms that we're not used to seeing, which a lot of times to me signals innovation. Seamless interactivity, intuitive mobile experience, and lightning fast real-time capabilities through integration with major Web 2 platforms, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and TikTok. Okay, so I wasn't making too many false insinuations there. That is what they're trying to do. We've created a powerful entry point that catalyzes viral growth. This innovative fusion of blockchain peer-to-peer technology with established social networks unleashes the network effect, transforming how retail users connect, transact, and communicate in real time. I gotta write this down. Yeah, this is very interesting. This is the type of things between Lighter and HANA here. These are the things that these crypto deep dives are all about. So peer-to-peer, we went over that part. While centralized exchanges restricted users to passive asset ownership in the Web3 era, hyper-casual finance in Web4 drives active participation through social networks, unlocking the true potential of blockchain's peer-to-peer ecosystem. This could very well be the next evolution, and they might not even be the people who champion these narratives, but they're definitely trying. So partners, Binance Lab, right there. Definitely, it seems like all the things that have been pumping lately have had incubation through Binance. Babylon, Hashkey Cloud, Morph. These are all things that we were talking about. Osmosis, Kelp DAO, P-Stake, D-Whale, Lombard. So Lombard's popping. So could HANA start popping? Get in touch. You could go to their X. Let's go see how many followers they have on X. Let's try to get some idea of how big this project is. So once we start to hone in on a project, 156.7 thousand followers. Pinpost has 97,000 impressions. 17 million requests. Thank you for everyone for participating. Final allocation will be assigned this week. Okay. So is there an airdrop coming? 11 hours ago they said big week. Mainnet Phase 3, the new live app, coming now. So not coming soon, but coming now. And let's see, what else can we get out of this? Do we have a link to this new app? Just says, what is HANA and all of that. I mean, hopefully they do a good job with this. We really might have stumbled onto a gem. Now, people can promise you anything, and it could be nothing. I don't want to get people overly excited, right? We don't ever want to be too bullish or too bearish. Just like Sam was talking about today. Don't get overly bearish. Don't get overly bullish. Right in the middle seems to be what works best. About 700% oversubscribed. 5 hours left. Seems like they're doing some kind of airdrop, right? But what exactly is the airdrop about? Do you have to go subscribe to them in the app or something? And they just keep posting that. 24-hour remains to secure your HANA on the Kato AI Launchpad. Man, there are so many launch pads and so many different projects doing so much stuff. It is 2 hours a night is like almost not enough to keep up with everything. We're going to have to do weekends, work overtime. We're going to have to do morning streams. We're going to have to do it all if we want to stay on top. I'm really liking this though. So MEXC listing. It's on HANA is on MEXC Global. That is pretty cool. What decentralized exchange is it on? Please tell me that CoinGecko has it. And we're getting into stuff we haven't even managed to get to the top gainers of the day. Preview only. So this thing is not fully live yet. But you can get it on MEXC Global. All right, so that's one. I'm going to write that down. That's one you're going to have to be in the Discord to see. Because if it's already listed on MEXC Global, so pre-market trading, Hana Network. I wonder if you can actually buy it. I will be definitely going to look at this. Start time September 20th, 2025. So this was 2 days ago. So it's already pre-trading over on MEXC. I wonder if that means you can actually buy it with 0 fees. Man. All right. So that's all going to go into the Discord. So you're definitely going to want to get that Discord link and make sure you're in the Discord if you want to get that kind of information. But that's probably a little bit of a gem there. I really like how CryptoRank lets you see things even before they're listed. I think CoinGecko is kind of failing that. Even if they're somewhere else on their website, they need to be with everything else like this is. Recently listed in the last 30 days. Meme bid strategy. Whalebit. Meta Whale. Help me beat cancer. Pudgy strategy. I mean, Pudgy Penguin's pretty big, so why not Pudgy Strategy? Zero G Labs. River. I don't know what River is. So we're going to hop over to the top gainers. Let's see. Do they have a top gainers chart? Yes, gainers. And we will stack that up. I'm going to leave Hannah up in the background there. We will stack that against our CoinGecko top gainers. And where's everybody at? Everybody's been a little quiet. Hit that like, share, subscribe. Is there anything anybody wants me to go over? Drop a comment if you will. But nevertheless, I appreciate everybody who's here listening, and I appreciate everybody who's commenting and being involved. And right off the bat, we have plenty of things to look at. And was digging into World Liberty Finance ecosystem a bit, and some of the tokens that are, World Liberty native, right? Like they're only serving that ecosystem. They're not really anywhere else. Those could be some coins to look at. So we might have to do a stream about World Liberty finance ecosystem. And it's not political. It's a big crypto, project. Whether you like the person who, it's kind of attributed to or not, that's your own business. But that's not a reason to miss money in this market. AI companies, or AI, companions. Wow, I was going to say champions. I just read whatever I want sometimes. 381% from the max. Let's see when that started. September 9th, 2024. This project's over a year old. 284.9 million in its market cap. Billion tokens. Circulating supply, same, fully vested. It has a BNB smart contract. What are they looking at on Twitter? We will get back to that in a minute. So it is a meme coin. That doesn't surprise me at all. AI meme. All right. And I don't really see a website. So I guess we have to go to their Twitter. So AI companions. That's a dangerous topic. Redefining virtual companionship with AI, VR, AR, blockchain. Join the AIC revolution. 36.6 thousand followers. You rather really agree with this or you very much disagree with it. Mega T1 centralized exchange listing. After an extremely successful launch day with HTX, another Mega T1 central exchange listing has now been confirmed. And you're still using, I guess it makes sense, like random AI generated images. I don't know. Everybody was like, oh, you can just hop on AI, it'll generate you an image. These are the type of images that AI will just generate for you, right? To me, it almost just, I don't know. I think it's not as professional or put together as it could be because they're a little lame in my opinion. Is going to be listed on every top tier centralized exchange. Its biggest and baddest listing to date is now locked in. So they're touting a bunch of things about them getting listed on big exchanges. Now, why would they be getting listed on big exchanges? I don't know. 2x pump. So, and it's even more because we saw it was 300 and something. So it's like 3.5x from where it came out from. But where's the value? Like, you don't even have a website. This seems like a lot of very hype driven, but it's a meme coin. And meme coins are very, very hype driven. I'm going to go ahead and follow it. You can follow me, Crypto Realm, with the blue check mark over on Twitter. I'm going to follow them just to see what they put out. I don't know that I am super bullish on this project, but with big listings comes more liquidity. And they already have $284.9 million in their market cap, and they can't even figure out how to have a website. Now, before I say that, let me go back to their Twitter and make sure they don't have a website posted, because I could totally be wrong about that. Okay, they do have a website. I don't know why CoinGecko doesn't have their website, but I take all of that back. Forget I said any of that. You know, I could be wrong. Our vision is to revolutionize companionship. Why do I want to say championship so bad? I don't know. AI champion sounds more fun. I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to talk to an AI in any companion capacity. I don't need no AI lovers. I don't need no AI friends. I need AI to work diligently and do its job. Highly customizable, interactive, and immersive AI partner designed to meet your unique desires. I mean, you've got to be able to read between the lines here. I think we all know where this is going. That's why I don't want to see a presentation. I might get kicked off of YouTube. What is AI virtual companions? And I've seen all kinds of AI chatbots that they're trying to shill to you. I mean, this is going to be for like the loneliest of lonely. And I guess those people need companionship. These AI companions are going to talk to all the people that normal people don't want to talk to. Is that basically what it is? That sounds really mean, and I don't mean it that way, but I mean essentially that's what's going to happen, where your digital desires come to life. Okay, now we got desires involved here. We know where this is going, and then it goes from desires. You can't make this stuff up, right? AI companions, where your digital desires come to life, straight into monetization strategies. Yeah, I bet they have some strategies for monetizing. Our platform will employ a variety of monetization strategies designed to provide value to users, ensuring suitable revenue generation, all centered around AIC token, free access with limited features, stake X amounts of the token, cash subscription, monthly subscription. So as much as you could dislike what this is, it could make money for sure. So a lot of people paying cash subscriptions for a lot of things, if you know what I mean, and this could be one of them. Why AI virtual companions? I almost am like done with this and don't want to read any more of it. And they're going to have everything from augmented reality, virtual reality. Yeah, community incentives and rewards. And then they have a roadmap. So we're just going to read phase 1. So I think we would have already been out of phase 1. I feel like there should be a check mark next to it, right? We're like in phase 2. So phase 2 focuses on launching customizable companions, features, and celebrity models alongside community building, exchange listing, partnerships, and further marketing. I think it's supposed to be further marketing campaigns. For details, please refer to the white paper. Hate it or love it, this thing probably is gonna run. As long as it has like real working stuff and it's not just a website that talks a bunch of crap, then you're going to see it probably run. So as much as I don't like it, I'm going to write it down. All right, so we covered that. And where did we find it? Why are we looking at it? Well, because it's one of the top gainers of the day. It is the top gainer of the day. It's up 109% in 24 hours. So that tells you something right there. Get rid of the tabs. And then we have a Hunter's Dream, CAW, C-A-W. I feel like there's an... No, that's what's the other one? There's another CAW, right? Anybody still in here? Says there's people in here. What are you guys thinking about some of these things? A Hunter's Dream, 51.4 million in market cap, Ethereum contract, and CAW.ls or IS. CAW is. Let's go down to our category. So SocialFi. Yeah, I don't want to add categories. Okay, SocialFi is really all they have here. We'll pull up their Twitter. Their website looks terrible. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I am not digging this website at all. So, a manifesto on decentralized social clearinghouse. I don't know why. Every time it says manifesto, I'm just like, I don't want to read this. The concept of decentralization has been lost to some of us over time. Those who forgot why Bitcoin was created, the issue blockchain and cryptocurrency is meant to solve. Okay, I really don't want to read all of that. I get it. I mean, just from those first user lines. Now, I'm sure there's some technical stuff that is more specific to this project. But how can you be the future of social media with a website like this? I mean, that's red flag territory for me right there. So, launch testnet. I don't know why I'd want to do it. It better. Okay. Why couldn't you do a website like this? Like, why can't you do a website that looks nice like this? And that is their own website. This is not on, like, you know, a GitHub or something like that. So, a decentralized social clearinghouse. Okay, isn't a clearinghouse usually like an auction house or something like that? TEH, decentralized social, built for by TEH people. What is TEH and what am I missing here? I don't know. This is when it gets fun because when I start feeling a little bit lost in what the heck this is supposed to be, that's when I know that we are doing good deep dive and research. So, a censorship resistant decentralized messaging protocol. So, is it going to be social media or is it just going to be a messaging protocol? Because those are two totally different things. Well, not totally different, but one does not equal the other one, I guess you could say. Blockchain technology, powered by Ethereum and community driven. So, powered by Ethereum. I guess we could have got that from the contract address here. And let's keep going. Get rewarded while interacting. Financial technology based on secure distribution ledgers, active burns, and rewards for cause stakers. A hunter's dream. It's kind of odd marketing for a messaging system. What does it have to do with hunting? I don't know. This could be some insinuations. Start here. Mint a NFT user name is the new way to enter the revolutionary world. First, connect a wallet. And I'm not going to do this because if there's a time to do this, it'll come. But I'm not going to do that while we're live. It's kind of pointless. They have 20,000 followers, so not a lot of followers. Pin post development updates have recommenced. TEH Hero has begun their work as per the manifesto. I guess I would know what TEH stand for if I read the manifesto. Also probably run all of you off because that thing was long. 200,000 impressions on their pinned post, and it's only from April 17th, 2024. Not that long ago. Okay, it was a little while ago. All right. So I don't know how I feel about that. A real question is why now? Why is it trending now all of a sudden? I mean, look at this thing. The chart doesn't look too horrible. I mean, it has some ups, it has some downs. But then you just see, like, in these last 7 days, like, just one heck of a spike. It only has $51.4 million in its market cap. So, you know, people will talk all the time about getting a 100x coin, a 1000x coin. If you're not willing to buy something that has $51 million in a market cap, it is going to be very hard for you to get 100x, 1000x, you know. That's just, to me, that's factual. That's not financial advice. That's just a fact. If you wait for something to get a 500 million, $1 billion market cap before you have enough faith to buy it, that's fine. You're just less risky of an investor, a speculator, but you're most likely not going to find yourself looking down too many 100x, 1000x, you know, opportunities. All right, let's go back. So that's interesting, but what in the world is it? I don't know. SafeCoin. SafeMoon, anybody? What is SafeCoin? $74.7 million in its market cap at 39 cents. Binance Smart Chain contract. Does it have the Binance? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Centralized exchange product. I wonder why with all of this decentralized perpetual narrative going on, why would anybody care about a centralized exchange? I don't know. It's a good question. And you could buy it on SafeBit. You could buy it on their exchange. Now, when you have an exchange named Safe, you ever heard anybody say that the most unlikely scenario becomes the most likely scenario? I don't know. With a name like Safe, I don't want to say that they're going to go down, but they might go down. So this is SafeBit. Giri's Yap. Is this foreign? This looks very foreign. Yeah, it is, because everything is in a language that I don't know. But I can make some sense of it probably. Okay, so obviously this is not built for the American market. It could come to the American market, sure, but it doesn't look like it's built for the American market. So we're going to move on because I can only really read you so much here. So Safe Token, okay, that's what the token is. What about the whole project? Yeah, it's a centralized exchange, Binance Smart Chain. I mean, that's really all we got out of it. Let's go to the max log. Has a pretty low market cap, and it's been around since July 17, 2025. It's number 623 by market cap. Moving on, because there are a lot of projects to cover tonight. Hopefully everybody's sticking with me. Drop a comment to let me know you are still awake and you did not fall asleep. Let me know your crypto IQs are going up. APX. And then we have this BERT, looks like another meme coin. Right now we're not focused on meme coin. So APX. So I might have said APEX earlier. APX is what rebranded to Aster. Now, why it would pump all of a sudden when this is their old contract, I have no idea. Why would you want to buy this after they already rebranded to Aster? Aster is pumping huge. I don't know. That is a good question. And is this even worth going over? Wouldn't you think that if a project rebranded into a new token altogether, that the old token would go away? And sometimes you do see this happen, but a lot of times the liquidity and everything is gone, you know? And when you try to cash out, you'll have issues with that. Very interesting. But it's sitting at $1.50. And what has it done in the last 24 hours? Or 7 days? It's moved up a little bit. Maybe just because a lot of people, I even had somebody write in the our Discord today, oh, look at this APX. And I had to break the news to them that, that's Aster's old coin. So I could see how people could maybe get a little bit, confused. Omni Network is up 15%. And again, the day has been pretty red. Yesterday was pretty red. The day before that was pretty red. Friday was seemingly pretty red, right? So having a project up 100% and from there, I mean, you're just going to see 15%. A lot of these are not up that much. So, they could be almost a nothing coin that just got a little bit of a pump. We do have Tibber, and I'm going to go over it because I have Tibber written down. And Tibber, I believe, is one that is a pick from Token Metrics. Token Metric picks seem to do pretty well. $202 million in its market cap with a base blockchain. It's on Virtuals. It says @virtuals.io. It's a meme coin. Virtuals protocol ecosystem. Let's see what the website does. Taking us to Virtuals. And this is all about Tibber or Ribita. Or Ribita. I'm going to go with Ribita because I just feel like that rolls off the tongue much better. And I remember this taking forever to load last time. I don't know what the deal is. Why are you not loading? Is it that big of a website? Or page, I should say. All right, well, we'll try to come back to it because we can't sit on that forever. Let's go to the max chart. Max chart says March 24th, 2025. It's got a pretty nice market cap. Let's go to their Twitter since the website doesn't really want to load. I'm just going to kill that because it's probably never going to load. Oh, yeah, and we looked at this before, and I think we all kind of decided that it didn't look like the most amazing thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, it didn't even have any photos in any of his posts. This seems very techy and probably very niched in, probably has a very single function. Crypto and fintech are merging into a single ecosystem. I don't think it's going to be Rabita. This is probably an AI agent on virtuals. And there's probably some value there. I mean, he has 304,000 impressions, but with AI and bots, I mean, who knows what those real impressions are. So we'll move on from that, but just have Tibber on your radar. Kaw was a social, messaging platform. It wasn't that exciting. I think the big takeaways here are Lighter when it launches, because it's right in that decentralized perpetual derivatives market. Very interesting. And then, of course, Hannah had some different terms and terminology. You could call them niches, you could call them categories, whatever you want to call them. But it's different than what we normally look at. Got Quack AI. Sometimes it almost feels like impossible to look at every single one of these tokens. So UX Link is the number one loser of the day. So maybe we'll give it a look. 51.4 million. It's taken a big dump, although a lot of things have. And let's see, SocialFi, another SocialFi play. The SocialFi ones are hard because, I mean, it either really works or it really doesn't work. Zara was all the rage, and a lot of people were very much pumping it. But when I actually went to Zara and I actually went to their social media, I mean, I was very unimpressed with the users. The users and the type of content they were making was very lame. It was like grab an AI image and post it and hope that people buy it. And because there's such a lack of interaction going on there, there's a lot of dumb posts that are just like worth like $600, and it just like makes no sense. I don't see the sustainability with Zara. Crypto Maniac 1776, what's up, man? I appreciate you hopping in. If you're just hopping in, Crypto Maniac, since you're a regular here, I'm just going to tell you this project Lighter, Lighter, and project Hannah, Hana. Lighter hasn't really launched yet. We're kind of waiting for it to launch. And Hannah is available, looks like on Mexi Global, but I'm going to put more information about that in the Discord. Almost at 1,000 subs. I know I am so close. I haven't looked at it since I started the stream. I think it was 996 when I started the stream. I don't know if it's moved from there. But, yeah, we're going to hit it, Just like Sam said with his 100K. I knew one day I would hit 1,000. I just didn't know it was going to take this long. I thought pre-recorded videos would do a little bit better, but I don't know if it's the algorithm of YouTube not showing me to enough people or enough people not really wanting to watch a pre-recorded video. I don't know what it is. That's why I'm glad I'm doing the lives now. And Crypto Maniac, can you believe we're almost at a month of doing these lives Monday through Friday? So we have Torch of Liberty, another huge loser. It's a meme coin. I'm sure. I just said that. I didn't even look. It's on 4Meme ecosystem. And do we even want to look at their website? I mean, they are flailing, right? 51 million. A lot of projects in that 50 million marketplace. Own world top assets using USD1 instantly. Oh, Liberty. So this is in World Liberty Finance ecosystem. So this actually might be pretty decent. So this is like the meme coin of it. And I saw that Bonk.Fun is going to be the main launch pad for World Liberty Finance ecosystem stuff. Cool. Check those out. Keep grinding. Absolutely, man. We'll definitely keep grinding. Step into Web3 investing with Liberty, backed by real-world asset. Our on-chain product offers instant trading, deep liquidity, and 24/7 access. With USD1, you gain fractional ownership of the world's leading companies and assets, secure, transparent, and borderless. So what do? Stake it? Seedify powered by real asset backed. Seedify powered and real asset backed. Okay. So Liberty is a Seedify protocol that lets you trade tokenized real world assets using USD1 stablecoin by securely custodizing. I don't like that word. And tokenizing actual assets. We enable fully decentralized on-chain trading and instant settlements. Liberty removes high entry barriers, geographic restrictions, settlements, delays, and trading windows. Constraints empowering both retail and institutional investors to seamlessly access the global asset marker. I start reading really fast when I'm like, all right, moving on. So 10 chains, 10 plus chains, on-chain projects, that is. So winner of USD 1 million momentum. Well, it wasn't me. I don't even know what that means. Were they giving away $1 million? Big congrats to all the winners. 29.9 billion in USD1 trading volume in less than a month. Honored to support this great BNB chain builder ecosystem through the USD1 trading campaign. Okay, so here are the different people. I want to click on this. Who won money and how much money did they get? Okay, so wait, this is host, guests, winners, Tagger and Lorenzo. And they don't tell us what they won. What did they win? I don't know. I don't know what they won, but they won something. I feel like if it was really a big amount, they would have told us what it was. So why is this in losing 50% today? I have no idea. But we've pretty much covered it. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say here. It is actually linked to, World Liberty Finance. It's a meme coin, though. But it looks like it has some actual usability. So very interesting. We'll have to learn more about that when we do our WLFI ecosystem deep dive. Wrong website. Is this the wrong website? Oh, yeah. Top gainers, top losers. I'm like, why do I have two lists? Somnia, Mango Network, Form, Vine losing. We don't want to see Vine losing because I own some. Grass also losing. I like to see the things that are losing actually have been pumpers from the day before, like Drift Protocol. Drift Protocol was pumping. Now it's pulling back. I hate to see projects that I own some being top losers when they haven't even pumped. And what is up with our altcoin season? We were almost there. We almost felt like we were going to get altcoin season. And I really felt kind of strange about the whole rate cut is finally going to be our moment and rate cuts are going to happen and then we're going to pump to the moon. Everybody bought that and everybody seemed to believe it in retail. And that's pretty much how I knew that wasn't going to happen. I didn't think we were going to get crushed so much. I thought we might sit a little more flat. And in the grand scheme of things, I guess we really didn't get crushed that much. We're down to 112,000 for BTC, unless it's pumped while I've been on stream. I don't think it has. We'll go take a look real quick. But either way, are we still going to get it? No, it looks like it fell down even a little bit more. Are we still going to get an altcoin season? I sure hope so. All right, and let's see what ChatGPT had to say about some things. So what's trending across crypto and blockchain today? AI agents in crypto are gaining attention with billions raised in funding and thousands of agents launched across protocols. Of course, real-world asset tokenization is trending as institutions tokenize bond, real estate, and other assets on-chain. DePIN, which is decentralized physical infrastructure networks, is growing with projects like Render, Filecoin, and Hive Mapper leading. Okay, Filecoin's leading. I'd like to see that in their actual market cap. The market has been brutal. It really has been, Cryptomaniac. I keep hearing about people who got liquidated over the last, little dump we had here over the weekend. I mean, I had a position get liquidated for like $100, so I feel their pain. That was more than I wanted to lose. So stable coins remaining a top narrative, especially around regulators and global adoption. Layer 2 scaling continues to trend with Arbitrum optimism, ZK Sync, and Base. So when we go over this little list right here that ChatGPT 5 says is trending across crypto, we have really been covering these. We've been covering these. We did a DePIN deep dive. We did a real world asset deep dive. We've done AI agent deep dive. We've done layer 2 deep dive. So, key Web3 narratives driving adoption in 2025. So we have AI plus crypto integration is expanding use cases in DeFi, GameFi, and trading automation. And there you go, trading automation, which is like everything we've seen with Avantis. Blue Sky says, ouch. RWAs are bridging traditional finance with blockchain, creating new liquidity pools. SocialFi and creator economies. Projects are gaining through adoption, through decentralized content ownership, gaming, and I keep wanting to say gaining. Gaming and metaverse ecosystem remains strong, combining NFT with DeFi mechanics, restaking, and cross-chain interoperability are enabling more efficient use of crypto capital. Ecosystem and projects worth watching closely. Layer 2s, Arbitrum, Optimism, ZK Sync, StarkNet, and Base. AI projects, Fetch AI, Singularity Net, and the newer AI agent protocols. Is Fetch AI, or Singularity Net, I guess is what it is now, going to really ever move? RWA platforms like Centrifuge, Ondo Finance, MakerDAO, and RWA Vault, depend leaders, Filecoin for storage, Render for GPU, Compute, and HiveMap for mapping. And then, of course, your stable coins with new entrants like PayPal's PYUSD. How these trends impact developers and investors and users. Getting way ahead of myself. And what is there anything anybody wants to talk about? While we're kind of getting later in the stream. Not sure when I'm going to end the stream at all, but if there's anything anybody wants to talk about, narratives, a coin, anyone to ask any questions, now would be a great time to think that up and drop it in the chat. And also, who didn't get liquidated over this dump that we've had in the last 3, 4, 5 days. So developers gain new infrastructure to build scalable app, integrate AI, and tokenize real-world assets. Investors get early access to early-stage narratives with growth potential across sectors, and users experience low costs, faster apps, and more opportunities to earn and participate in decentralized systems. So Blue Sky says, I'm sorry to make you repeat. Can you name the 2 projects you spoke about? One was on Mexian, was it Hannah? Okay, yes. So one is lighter, and I will pull it up as I talk about it so that it makes a little bit more sense. So one was lighter, and how do I search on here? And it doesn't look like it's out yet. Airdrop is confirmed. I don't know how you would get the airdrop necessarily. I don't think we found that part. But it has Anderson and Horowitz. I always want to say that 6 different ways. And it doesn't seem like it's out yet, but the reason why it stuck out to me is because it is about, perpetuals and decentralized exchange. Much of the stuff that's been running lately, Aster, Avantis, are all in that vein. He says, I did. LOL, get liquidated. LOL, I live and learn. Yeah, it's happened to me. I've definitely taken some losses. I remember, when I got liquidated for like $4,500, that hurt. That was several years ago. And Hannah was the other one. Now, why did we think Hannah was interesting? Why did we think it was one to look at? It's also not out. It says preview only, but we found on their Twitter that it had some things talking about pre-saling on Mexi Global. So I don't know if that means they just pre-sold to Mexi Global or if you can actually buy it on Mexi Global. Let's see if we can find that post real quick. It couldn't be down there too far. So yeah, pre-market, early price, early trading by Hannah. And that's a Mexi listing. And if we go to their website, they had some very unique terms, and it's one thing that I've learned through deep diving and researching is when you start seeing certain terms that are different from what you normally see. So they're talking about Web3 to Web4. They're talking about hyper-casual finance driven by social network effect. I mean, they're talking about bringing – this is not the website we were on before. They're talking about bringing, on and off ramps and – basically paid tipping and stuff on social media, but on your regular social medias that you're used to using, not necessarily you trying to build your own social media platform. Because I don't know, a lot of projects have gone the route of trying to build their own social media platforms like Zara, and I just don't feel like it's worked out well. I just don't think that they have whatever it is that you need to make a really good one. Maybe there's not enough innovation to really make a new. He said not on Mexi. Yeah. So again, I don't know what they were talking about with the pre-sale of Mexi. I was going to go look it up when I got off stream and put that in the Discord. So I haven't really got to it yet. Either way, it looks like maybe they have made deals with Mexi. Now you're going to make me go back to their Twitter. Let's do it again. Do it again. All right. So you can trade on Mexi pre-listing, pre-market. So, I mean, how could you trade if you can't buy? Right? Hannah is listed on Mexi listing, pre-market. Pre-market listing. Hannah, pre-market listing. So, and this was September 20th, 2025. I don't really know exactly what a pre-market trading is. Like, not on CoinGecko. Yeah, I don't think that would be listed on CoinGecko. They probably wouldn't have that information yet. It's like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, CryptoRank, they all have their strengths, right? They all have certain things they do really well. And so you almost need all of them. I see a lot of people split between CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. They all do different things a little better. I know you don't see me use CoinMarketCap all that much. But that's just because I really, if I'm live streaming in front of everybody, I want to use things that I'm used to using. I don't want to be constantly looking for information. We're already trying to integrate, CryptoRank here. Let's actually bring Hannah up over here and see if we can get some better information. I do like how CryptoRank has a lot of interesting information. The pop-ups, though, are really annoying. All right. So, instructions for completing tasks and activities on Hannah Network. This is probably in, pertaining to the airdrop. So, we've got mainnet phase 1. Okay, sorry, got a text message coming in. Hannah Network has launched the main network, and with it is campaign with points farming. We can deposit ETH, USDC, USDT, WBTC, WRAP BTC, and start farming points, which will most likely convert into project tokens. So that has a lot to do with, I guess, the airdrop. I'm trying to remember how long the airdrop was going on. I did see that somewhere. So enter the code here to access the site and connect your wallet. Note that you will only be able to withdraw funds in Q1 2025. Are we already in Q1 2025? Am I missing something? Am I messing that up? Probably. Select an asset, enter the amount, and click deposit. Track your progress on the leaderboard and dashboard pages. Well, if it's just about how much you deposit, there are people with crazy amounts of money. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Go to Galaxy and connect your wallet or social account. Complete the task and get 1 OAT and 1 point. I have no idea what that's about. So Galaxy task number 1. So this is all about how to get involved. Exclusive NFT minting. Now this page allows whitelisted users to mint exclusive NFTs. By minting, you will officially issue your NFTs on the blockchain, making it tradable in various marketplaces. Let's go to start minting, although I'm sure it's not going to let me do anything. This is capsule.shop, exclusive NFT minting. And this is not in mainnet, right? So they could let you mint whatever you want. It wouldn't matter. I remember being involved in Sui's prenet before it launched its mainnet. And you could just mint anything you wanted all day long. So I'm not sure if that's the case here, but interacting with the ecosystem is usually how the airdrops go. So available from the 27th October 2024, this mainnet phase 1. That seems like that was a while ago. Is this stuff not that active or accurate? So mint exclusive entity, this is closed. A lot of this stuff is closed, but these are open. This Galaxy task number 1, Galaxy task number 2, and the main phase 1. Okay. This was not the information I expected to get when I came here, but this is what we're getting. Do we get a market cap? Do we even know what the market cap is yet? Anyways, generally to get any airdrop, you have to be involved in some way in the ecosystem. So you could follow those steps. You can find all of that stuff on CryptoRank. And I'll get a little more to the bottom of the whole Mexi Global thing. I'm not logged in on this computer. It's on my phone. And I don't want to fidget with my phone for a long period of time and lose everybody on the stream. So what else do we got to talk about? We really went over all that was trending. Matter of fact, actually gainers, top gainers on CryptoRank looked like they were a little bit different from the other places. So we will look at some different projects. TokenBot, we went over that. Lava Network. Lava Network is one. It's up 27.9%. Lava Network, I was looking at Lava Network, I want to say 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I forget why I was looking at it, but I was. Definitely hard to forget a network called Lava. 11 million raised. This is back in 2024. Do we have a market cap? 15 million. Small. This is tiny. But it's getting some attention. And why? What are our categories? Developer tools. Okay. L1 modular. Aptos ecosystem. Cosmos ecosystem. Which I haven't really seen a lot of action out of those ecosystems. Let's bring Lava up over here on CoinGecko. And we'll hop back to crypto bubbles for a minute, and we're on the hour. So the hour was green when we started the stream, and now the hour is red. And we see 0G up 20%. 0G being the one that seems the most important right now. And I will reiterate that we went over 0G on Friday. So I'm not making calls and telling nobody to buy nothing, but I will say that, you know, at least I did my part at putting it on your radar. It's up to you to take it from there. Lava Network, ticker Lava, 15 million, has its own blockchain, but also on Base and Osmosis, categories, infrastructure, smart contract platform, DePIN, and a modular blockchain. Maybe that's one we could also break down. It's another category we could do this week or at some point. Talk about modular blockchains. What is modular? What makes it a modular blockchain versus other blockchains, right? Raising that crypto IQ. You guys are going to be so crypto smart when I'm done with you guys. Or we all will. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sit on no high horse. I learn every day, and that's really what it's all about. Let's see what else we got for top gainers. I don't want to go on no rant. Stella, ticker Alpha. Talk about a ticker that has nothing to do with the name of the project. Let's go look at that. So Stellar or Alpha, only sitting at 2 cents. Do we have a market cap? 19.9 million, so bigger than Lava, that's for sure. And the chart has been around for a while. Can we go to like a monthly chart? And is it so? Alpha Finance Labs is kind of like the full name of this project. And yeah, this looks like, wow, beat to the ground. I don't know why it would be trending. And does it even tell us when this was? I like the whole trading view chart stuff, but it also is making it kind of difficult. So this is May 1st, 2021. This project's been around for a while. Yeah, you're talking about IEOs back in October of 2020, which pretty much tells me I'm done with this. I don't think this thing is worth looking at. Why it's trending, Pump Group got a hold of it, no idea. Or Top Gainers, I should say, not necessarily trending. They're not the same. So we have Gork, XAI Gork. Now, could that be a play? That looks like a meme coin. Looks like a meme coin sitting at 1 cent. And it has a market cap of 10 million. So this thing is super tiny. You'd have to really believe in this project. And I don't know anything about this project. They don't even have a website. It is pump.fun. I don't like that they don't guarantee the relevance of their links. That's not cool. I never see that kind of thing on CoinGecko. CoinGecko checks the links, it seems like. New XAI Gork. So it doesn't seem like this thing's been around very long. Let's go to its max chart. Or wait, no. It was a different project. So May 6, 2025. This is not saying no $10 million. What was this saying? This says $10 million in market cap. CoinGecko says 319,000, like 300,000. Like this thing is stupid small, which explains why they have no website. They don't have no website money if their market cap is that low. But it's pump.fun, so I'm surprised it doesn't have a $2,000 market cap. And let's go to their Twitter. At least I feel safer when it doesn't give me a we're not reliable for where you wind up. Gork Morning. So what the heck is Gork? Looks like they don't have a very centralized theme character here. Now I think XAI has a chance of reaching AGI with Grok 5. And I had a feeling that Gork was a play off of Grok. And you have the XAI. There has been so many scammer, fake, false coins around. You know, X having its own token, anything around that. And this just seems like maybe another play on that. I'm not excited about that at all. Now, this is Deep Dive in Crypto. You know, this is Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research. So we're going to look at tokens that could be total scams. But when they're down 92.2% and they have a narrative of XAI, run. Don't buy these, is my opinion. So Blues Guy says, XRT, bro, I bought a bag. I think it's a great project. I bought a little bit. You probably bought more than me. I only bought like $200 worth of that thing because that's such a small market cap that if it goes where I think it could go, I'll make a boatload of money off at $200. Very little risk management, you know, very little risk. It is super high risk. But let's talk about it. Let's actually bring it up. And for anybody who's been here, I've talked about XRT a couple of times, but I think it's worth talking about again. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about it again. So let's see. What has it done? First of all, max chart 2000. What am I talking about? All right. April 7th, 2025. I don't know where I was about to go with that, but I was going. So April 7th, 2025. Hasn't been out very long. And I just want to point out all the things to me that make it look like it could do something. They'll make it look like it could matter. And Blues Guy, when did you buy it? Has not moved on that drop. Not sure what you mean. Oh, yeah. It didn't move on Bitcoin's, you know, tumble there. It was more like a jump off a cliff than a tumble. But, you know, Bitcoin fell down and it's bleeding. And XRT obviously didn't move much. I think, honestly, Blues Guy, that's because it doesn't have a ton of money in its market cap. So whoever owns this is probably not looking to sell it, right? It hasn't done anything for them yet. They don't have any reason to dump this thing. And it's a $2 million market cap. How far could it dump, you know? Was it going to lose, like a couple 100,000? If anything, I got in before it hit 2 million. And so it's up a little bit already. So I'm not too unhappy about that. The last 7 days, I don't remember when I bought it. I should have wrote down exactly what day I bought it. But I probably bought it something like 12 to 13, maybe 14 days ago, maybe more, maybe 2 weeks ago. A few days when you spoke about it. Okay, so you should be up a little bit on it, right? Did you get it from Bitmart? I mean, you must have, right? Because Bitmart's like the only place to buy it. If you did get it from Bitmart, I probably didn't have my Bitmart link yet. But there's a Bitmart link in the description, just for anybody who wants to look at this. The only place to buy it, other than, I guess, like a decentralized exchange, and it is XRPL Ledger, so XRP blockchain network. And yeah, it would be Bitmart, so please use my link. Can't force you to do it, but it would be nice if you did. 100 million in the max supply, 100 million circulating supply. So this coin is fully vested. I like that. And let's see, it's AI and AI launch pads. And when you go to the website, they also have, yep, he said he did, and he is up. So right off the bat, we have XRP ecosystems. I like that all the coins are fully vested from the max supply. I like that the max supply, that the whole max supply is only 100 million tokens. I like that. I like that it is XRPL. So you know how people are crazy about XRP. Talking about you won't hear it here. You won't hear it on this channel. You won't hear me talking about XRP going to $50,000 because I think that's unreasonable. You know, could it happen? I have a huge bag of XRP. I would love for that to happen tomorrow, yesterday actually, if we could. But do I think it's realistic? No, not at all. Anyways, it's also got AI agent and RWA launchpad. So not only is it going to be involved in AI agent, it's also RWA and launchpad. Now, most of you might be saying, well, this seems like a really small project. How do we know that they're ever going to do any of the things that they're talking about? I don't know that they're going to do that. This is a speculation market. People are going to buy this based off of speculation. At some point, they really would need to produce something. Let's be honest. A year from now, 6 months from now, honestly, we'll be in a bear market by then, most likely. Maybe not, extended cycle, but maybe we will be. So they're going to need to show something at some point. But as far as from now to the top of the bull market, it's all speculation. So they really could do nothing. Other than they need to do some marketing, right? 4 easy steps to get started. Create a wallet, purchase, buy XRT. Purchase XRP, then buy XRT. I say just go to Bitmart with my link. Of course I would say that. Shameless shill. And get you some Bitmart. It's probably one of the easiest ways to get it. Again, only 100 million total supply. XRT is very similar ticker to XRP. So people searching for XRP might start looking at these other tokens or even just get it mixed up. Another token that I look at that I bought some of is XRPH. XRPH, and I should ask, anybody in the chat think that XRP is going to $50,000 a coin? Or how many people think it's going to $10,000 a coin? I guess we could call that being more reasonable, and I am not bearish on XRP or the price, but how many people think that it's going to go to $10,000 per coin, that is? Another thing that and I'm just trying to point out all the things I really like about it, right? One thing I don't like about it is that pre-sale says 60%. 60% of tokens? That's not necessarily a great thing. When you go to the roadmap, this is one of the bigger things that really got me to throw a couple $100 into this project, is the fact that the roadmap actually seemed pretty well thought out. It wasn't a complete nonsense roadmap. I'm not going to read it all right this second. But a lot of times I've seen meme coins with better, more thought out, written out roadmaps of what they're going to do than some more medium-sized projects that people were really drooling over and investing in. You go to their like roadmap, and the roadmap's like, we're going to do big stuff in Q2. And you're just like, what does that even mean? They're like, we're going to have 10,000 holders of our wallet. And it's like, okay, how are you going to do that? Tell us. That's what a roadmap is for. It's for you to tell us about how you're going to do that, not tell us that you're going to do it. That's not helpful at all. Anyways, I like the roadmap. That is end rant for XRT. And I'm just going over it because we've been talking about it a lot and it's moved up a little bit. Now, one thing that I haven't done that I probably should do, And I usually would go to like an antirug.com where you can put contract addresses in and it'll give you a breakdown of it. So where is... And yes, I am in my tabs, one tab. If you don't know what one tab is, I should have like a sales link for one tab, even though it's free, because I will shill one tab all day, every day. Let's check out this volume2bubblemap.io and let's see if they have this project on here, because I've been waiting for like a good reason to use this. Yeah, so it would be this one. Hold up. XRT Robonomics Network. That is what it is, right? And again, I highly speculated on this. This thing could be absolute trash. I just want to be really honest with that. It does have an XRPL contract, right? But they're saying Ethereum, and I'm not liking that. I don't like that whole... No, it's not on Ethereum. So they got nothing for it. Okay. But I believe it does say something about Robonomics, right? Or am I just getting completely lost in the sauce here? Anybody else see anything with XRT that said Robonomics? I felt like I did. Anyways, we'll pull this up. And let's see. This says Ethereum. I don't think this is right. I mean, we should just be able to look at its market cap, and we should know if this is the right thing. Let's go to price chart. September 3rd, 2025. $2, $3. Yeah, this is not the right chart. All right, so scratch that. Maybe we could go to like anti-rug. What is it? Antirug.io. There's a couple of these. .ai. All right, let's use this one. I don't know. I don't think this is the one I normally use, but we'll use this one real quick. For Solana token addresses. What? I don't want a Solana one. I want it to be XRP. All right. Well, I'm actually, that'll be in the Discord as well. Let me write that down. I don't want to spend too much time pulling that up, but yeah, I will find that and I will put it into our Discord. I'm just skipping whole words. The coin perspective. The coin perspective. And let's see if they even have XRT. I think they do. Yeah, look at this. Robonomics Network. Oh, no. See, that's not the one. That's why I was thinking that I'd seen that somewhere. Probably when I put it in on the coin perspective. And yes, this is the coin perspective. We're doing moon math. None of this is financial advice at all by any means. But we're just checking out some numbers here. So let's say it got to 500 million. So at 500 million, it would be... That can't be right. Up 114%? It's at 2 million. How could that be only... That doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense to anybody else? If XRT had a market cap of 5 million. Okay, that's why it doesn't make any sense. Got it. Okay, so 50 million, which is a very low market cap. This is really testament to what I was saying about how if... Okay, Blue Sky says, yep, I did, and I'm up on Twitter, bro. Maybe there's more info. We could definitely go to their Twitter here in a minute. We are kind of, we've been running 2 hours. I'm not hopping off just yet, but, now we have a little bit more time for some of the more fun stuff. We've done all the things that we needed to do on a Mystery Monday Deep Dive show. So that's 50 million, and 50 million is small. Like, Do I think this will go to 500 million or $1 billion? I don't know. Not unless it really catches some marketing and some attention. It's got to really get some attention. Maybe come out with something. Maybe launch an app or something. That would be really cool. But 50 million could be attainable. 50 million could definitely be attainable. How about 20 million, right? 20 million, you would have a 7.5x. And it'd be worth about 20 cents. I mean, that's pretty much your 10x, right? Obviously, that's your 10x from here. So let's do 50 million again. 50 million would give you a 20x. That makes sense. And then let's go ahead to the big $1 billion market cap. So at $1 billion market cap, which I think is daydreaming, I think that's a little bit more than you're going to get out of it. Maybe a lot of bit more than you're going to get out of it. But you'd have a 427x. So you wouldn't even have 1,000x yet. This is why if you don't get in early on a low market cap, a lot of times when you do that, in my experience, it's going to do nothing or little to nothing, or you get like a 1 or 2x, or you lose your money. Very few of them run up to multi-billion dollars getting in that early. You'd have to really know what the project was. Anyways, they'd be worth $10 a piece, and you'd be balling. And we'll just add one more zero for absolute moon math, and that would be $10 billion, which highly unlikely. Very, very unlikely. 4,282x. And we'll get off of that because anything past that, I mean, that's already extravagant. So anything past that would be absolutely wild. Would that work as a bridge? Also, okay. Blues Guy says, would that work as a bridge also for the other AI compatibility with the ledger? Excuse my typing. Sometimes it's hard to read. I'm French. Hee hee. Okay. I mean, your typing's all right. It's not too hard for me to read. He says, other AI compatibility with the ledger. I mean, by ledger, do you mean the XRPL ledger? I'm assuming is what you mean. Let me know if I'm wrong there. And AI compatibility, I mean, the interoperability on it, I think, would be fine. XRP can probably communicate with most blockchains pretty easily. Oh, we were going to go look at their Twitter. We'll do that real quick. See if we can find any more information. Because this is kind of this is that moonshot, right? I'm not telling anybody to buy it. I just thought it was interesting and threw a couple $100 in. And so I've got a vested interest in it. I don't mind being transparent about that. Turbo charging the XRP ecosystem with AI. Create and deploy AI agents on the XRP ecosystem. Join the Telegram. They do have a Telegram. I don't know. A lot of times Telegram is where a lot of scams live. So that terrifies me. But there are a lot of good projects with Telegrams too. So I'm not trying to give you the wrong vibe. And let's see. What is the pin post? March 13th. It's got 12,000 impressions, right? And March 13th, or May 13th, sorry. I don't know why I said March. It's got 4,544 followers. So this thing is not exactly booming. At least not yet. And yeah, I don't see a whole lot of information. Seeing AI generated images like this, XRT with a lion that seemingly has nothing to do with the project, seems like low grade marketing and low grade budgeting, in my opinion. So again, this thing could do absolutely nothing. I mean, at least that's a better AI image. And yeah, I'm not getting any vibes of anything crazy here. Reminders, this is the official X account of XRP Turbo. There are no other social media accounts. So anybody who says support account, and this is a good point, actually, I want to throw this out there. If you go look at your favorite coin, right? I looked at a coin the other day, and I followed them, their main page, and all of a sudden I was getting followed by like all of these, same project, but says support or support live or something like that. Those are the scammers. And they make some kind of support live or something like that. So you're having a problem with something in the project. Maybe you're having trouble buying it or whatever. And they hook you in, they get you in there. They try to get your seed phrase and stuff like that. At this point in crypto, you should know not to hand over your keys. If somebody says, oh, okay, well, let me get your seed phrase so that I can get into that wallet and fix that for you. No, absolutely not. And I feel like most of you guys should know that. He says, it's the first AI project on XRPL, though. Exactly. And I hope it does really big things. I mean, I don't know of any AI agent launch pads, and they have the RWA narrative, but I need to see a product, and they have a really tiny market cap. You know what? You know where I haven't looked it up yet? Is I haven't looked it up on Crypto Rank. And, you know, they have usually a better list of projects, and I knew they were going to do this. They give me this Robonomics network. This is not the project. This is not the project at all. I wish they had a $9 million market cap, as small as that is, and they don't. So they don't even have XRT on Crypto Rank. And it is what it is. It's tiny. We're hoping for it to do good, right? And I posted in the Discord the other day, just a little pop in the price action. It definitely popped up to a decent price. Seamless information between blockchain and AI. Yeah, I need to see a product. Like, I need to see something that's going to deliver that. You can write words in a website all you want. I mean, they might as well just put every narrative in crypto on their website, right? They'd probably get more speculators. But at some point, they kind of got to move the ball a little bit if they want to get other people talking about it. That's my opinion there. Okay. So I am pulling it up, the chart. See, what's the highest pop it had ever been to? Here, I'll pull this over so you can see it real quick. Do I have to change something in OBS to do that? And let's go to TradingView. This is not a TA channel. If you want TA, you go to the Crypto Lifer. I think most people know that who are here. But yeah, let's look at the highest pop here. So at one point, let's see, when was this? On May 25th, it had a really large pop up to 0.09 cents. And what is it at? 0.2 cents right now. So it had a really big pop there. And then much later, it had, this is August 25th, a pop up to 0.9 cents again, but not quite as high. The first one was like almost 10 cents. This was just 9 cents. After that, the next highest pop was the 13th of August. Oh, I'm reading this totally wrong. So it was the 4th of August on the first one. This one is the 13th of August. And then we kind of get into where we are now. And this is on the 4-hour chart. And you can see we went flat for a while. And then, and this is probably about where I bought in, somewhere in this flatness. I actually think I got in on this low bit right here. And then we just recently, and this is 4 hours, so obviously this is not that long ago, we got this big pump up to like 3 cents. And then it fell back and it did its normal. The candles don't look beautiful. The price action in the candles doesn't look beautiful, but we're really coming right now for that 4-hour 200. And is it going to get above that? That's what we want to see. We want to see if we can get above it. It seems pretty unaffected by Bitcoin right now. But what can we say? It does. The good thing about this to me is it doesn't seem like it could fall very far, right? It doesn't seem like it could really fall very far. Let me get you back to what I'm looking at. And yeah, that's just a little extra bonus there. We won't be on TradingView much, if ever, on this channel. But I just wanted to show that had a little pop, just mostly for blues guys, because I know you bought into it, even though I did post that the other day. We really want to see if we get above that 4-hour 200 MA for XRT. And with that, what else do we got? Who else is in here? Blues guy is the MVP. He is definitely commenting like crazy. Crypto Maniac commented a whole bunch. Bufflink in the beginning commented a whole bunch. I don't know if Bufflink's still here with us. Let's see who our top people are. So Dat Blues is number 1. Bufflink number 2. Crypto Maniac is number 3. Satoshi number 5. Very small group here. All right. So Blues Guy says, found a video talking, or yeah, he meant talking about facilitating bridge with AI, automation, and robotics with blockchain. Okay. Was that on their Twitter? And how good was the video put together? Was the video with like a CEO or something like that? Or was it just somebody talking? You know what I mean? Now you got me wanting to deep dive. And when we get to this point of the show, you know, we could run and really get nitty gritty with something. I went to the wrong thing. I meant to go to their Twitter. And we could really just dig. And this just seems to be the one that we're kind of focusing in on right now. Mostly for me and Blues Guy here. So was there a video? Where'd you find the video at? I probably just didn't scroll down far enough because honestly, the post that they have on their social is not really all that great. So they found themselves on a hot meter. It's not even bubble maps. Just a hot meter, whatever that is. And a lot of this stuff is pretty old, right? This is from August 25th, August 23rd. 349 posts they've posted so far. I'm not seeing any videos. Now available on iOS and Android. What is? Oh, on Bitmart, because they're available on Bitmart. Okay, and again, my Bitmart link is in the description for anybody. If you want, you could send that video in the Discord. Just let me know when it's there, and then I could pull it up. All right. We do need to move on to something else, though, because I don't want to run too many people off where we're just stuck on XRT for a while. And I certainly don't want to seem like I'm pumping it. I don't think that there's enough interaction here to make any dent or difference. Unless one of you guys got a couple $1 million you want to go throw in it. I don't think that anybody could say I'm trying to pump that. Let's go back to gainers. What else we got? Punk Strategy, Sun.io. So Sun.io is across the board pretty good. 30 days it's pumped, 7 days up 63%, 24 hours up 26%. So let's go take a look at that because I don't know what that is. And a lot of times what can be popular in the next couple weeks can be things that were barely relevant, you know, a couple weeks prior. So this is Sun.io. It's got a Tron network. I don't really mess with Tron very often. Justin Sun, I mean, this already makes sense. I get it. It has $623 million in its market cap, probably way more than it should have in its market cap. Probably a lot of Justin Sun's money. He's been accused of, you know, pumping these kind of things for sure. To the sun instead of the moon. Trade all of these different things. First integrated platform for swap farming and self-governance on Tron. So this is very much Tron ecosystem. You buy this if you believe in the Tron ecosystem. For the longest time, it's no secret that, you know, Tron was mostly used for USDT, you know, and that's mostly what the transactions on Tron have been. So is that going to change? I don't know. To the sun, unleash your DeFi power. Build your own strategy. At least know what it is when you see it. This is Sun.io. And it's got swaps, pools, farms. It's all the stuff you would expect ecosystem-wise. The website looks pretty good, actually. And it's over on Tron Network. So I don't really visit a lot of this type of stuff. It seems like Tron Network is very shut out of the United States and used mostly everywhere else. And Blues Guy says, sorry, I did not mean to take over here. Don't be. I'm glad. I wish everybody was commenting this much and understand that that is just a wish from somebody who's a creator who's, you know, trying to build up a community. Of course I would wish that. That's no dig on anybody who's listening and not commenting. I love you just as much, and I'm glad that you're here, whether you're commenting or not. Update from the sun. So, yeah, this is just all the ecosystem type stuff you would expect. I don't really know. It already has a huge market cap. I don't really know if this is really something you would want to invest in, but that's your own business because I don't tell you what to do with your money. I'm just concerned with your crypto IQ. Punk Strategy. I don't know what that means. So right off the bat, Ethereum contract. And, of course, what comes to mind is punks, right? Welcome to the perpetual punk machine. And you see all of the crypto punks in the background. An automated protocol designed to get exposure to crypto punks forever. I don't know why we would need exposure to crypto punks forever, but that's interesting. We called it the yo-yo. First, 10% of each trade on Punkstar is taken as a fee and stored in the protocol minus 2% rake. So they're taking 2%, right? When there's enough fee in the pool, the machine buys the floor punks. The punk automatically gets listed for 1.2x the price. When the punk is sold, all of the ETH buys and burns back to Punkster. This is interesting. So what they're saying is the floor of it. What are punks? Okay, crypto punks are an NFT for anybody who doesn't know that. And then there is a marketplace for it. There's multiple marketplaces. Think OpenSea. And so there is the floor. The floor is the lowest price. So if there's some that are worth millions of dollars, but the cheapest ones are worth $800, $1,000. Well, that would be the floor. So they're going to take they're going to take 10% of the trade of Punkster, which why you would be trading the token Punkster, I have no idea. But they'll take 10% of that, and somebody will. And then they'll take 2%, so they're going to take 8% of that. And when there's enough money in the pool, they're not telling us how much money that is, then they will buy as many on the floor as they can with that money. And then they will relist them for 1.2x the price, and that will make the floor go up. If the floor goes up, usually the value of all of them go up. But are there people really that interested in buying crypto punks right now? And I mean, look at them. They look terrible. That's my opinion. I'm not a fan of the look of crypto punks. I think we've moved far past it. I think they had their era. They had their time. Don't know why anybody would care nowadays, but I don't know. So Punk Strategy is now holding 32.2 ETH. Okay. Progress to next purchase. I mean, if you somehow have CryptoPunks and you want them sold, put them on the floor, and this project will buy them from you. I don't know. I don't know what other use there would be. I mean, they were really big. They're like a very niche thing, and you know about it and care about it if that was something you were into. I think most people have moved on from CryptoPunks. So we looked at this new XAI Gork. It kind of screams scam to me. I'd stay away from it. Zebek Network, we've been over many times. That is not a small player. Worthless Coin. All right, so Worthless Coin is one. There is a YouTuber named Joe. Maybe you know who Joe is. He does, and I'm not saying he's bad or anything. I like Joe. I've followed him for a long time, and he did a lot of content about how to get into whitelisted projects, like how to buy them before they were even out. And from what I understand, a lot of those projects did really well. I mean, 10X's the day they came out, and people dump them. And that is why people dump them, because they get in on the whitelist. They get in before everybody else. They're instantly up that 10, 12X that you've waited the entire market to get. They got that on day one of the launch of the coin, sometimes more. And so they dumped it. Anyways, he put out this coin, and his whole thesis is you have this moonshot.io or this moonshot app, right? And in this app, the whole point of the app is it's kind of like Coinbase for all the coins that you normally can't buy because they're not listed on Coinbase, right? And it's a mobile app, so anybody can easily get into it. It's supposed to really get rid of how difficult, the barrier to entry, how difficult it is for people to get into a lot of these coins when they're relevant, when they're trending on social media. A lot of people not being Web3 savvy, they don't know where to buy them. And because they don't know where to buy them, they need an app on their phone that they can just click on, open, easily connect to their debit card or their bank account and buy. And that is the whole point. Worthless Coin is a highlighted coin on there all the time. Worthless Coin seems to be like one of their number one coins. Now, what is Worthless Coin? Now, it is a Solana contract. I love how in the categories it says token. Of course it's a token. Like, that's not a real category. Why doesn't it just say crypto? Yeah, that's kind of stupid. It's Solana ecosystem. And let's go to their X. Okay, that gets annoying. I don't know why. It sketches me out when it says that. So let's do it over here. It is a And there's worthless and useless. Oh, wait, I'm on Twitter. That is not what I wanted. But whatever, we found it all the less. I actually thought I was going to CoinGecko. Am I getting tired? Maybe a little bit. So we were just talking about XRT, right? Well, Worthless Coin only has 6,700 followers. So that's pretty small and pretty much down there. I think it has more exposure, though. A limited supply of nothing for the boomers, the bears, and the bulls. So the whole thing is it's a worthless coin. Its value is not real. That's kind of a play on all of crypto, very meme coin-ish. And it is a limited supply of nothing. So there is a limited supply of it. But what it is nothing. So start scrolling. You get the coin. You get some kind of crazy animated video. I do like the way that they did this. It's all in the scroll and not really like an actual video. A limited supply of nothing. Buy worthless. And that's it. That's it. Is it going to go up? I have no idea. But it's interesting. And Joe seems to think this one has a chance of running. The thing is, the people who are promoting it, the community that's involved, Moonshot, there it is. There's their whole narrative here, Moonshot on Apple Store and Google Play, and it'll probably work. But it doesn't seem to be pumping just yet. And yeah, a lot of the people who are pushing it and stuff are it's a very grassroots movement, according to Joe. So, you know, it's not a lot of paid influencer. They really didn't pay a lot of money to have people pump it, is what they're saying. Now, is that true? I have no idea. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop out. I am a half hour over my 2-hour mark here. I don't know how long the streams are going to be half the time. I set off going to make the streams 45 minutes. And tonight we're at 2.5 hours almost. So I appreciate everybody who's been here. I really hope to see you guys tomorrow. And I don't know what the theme is going to be. We might do some World Liberty Finance ecosystem. We might do modular blockchains. Modular blockchain seems like more of the crypto IQ thing to do, but it also seems really techie, like I might lose people. But that's just part of the program. I want to raise people's crypto IQ. And sometimes I'm going to have to challenge you guys a little bit to stick in when it seems a little techie and hard to, I don't know, retain, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, Crypto Ron out. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it gave you some kind of new perspective or information. And as always, stay underground, stay crypto, and I'll see you in the Discord. Don't sleep on that Discord link.